Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another episode of Sewer Talk. You're back with your favorite host. We got a great one for you today. We are with Braden. You know, we want to have you introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And yeah, just tell people a little bit about you.
What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your platform. So I am super excited to be here to be talking to you, man. And everything else, man, like you couldn't have chose a better person. I'm just saying,
Hey.
But
it's the energy. It's the energy.
I'm telling you, I mean, like you couldn't have chosen a better person. But anyway, I'm Braden, y'all. I am a full-time college student. I am also a full-time worker in information technology. I am also the proud CEO of #I'm Different. I am from Greensburg / Ponchatoula, Louisiana. A lot of people ask me why I claim both. It's my business. That's why I claim it to be honest and frank without the explanation. But to further explain, because I'm not that rude, the reason why I claim both is because in the beginning, before Hurricane Katrina happened, me and my family were staying in Greensburg. And after Hurricane Katrina, we moved to Ponchatoula. So I kind of got both. And Hurricane Katrina happened in, I think, 2005, 2006. So at that time, I was like 5 years old. No, 4 years old, about to be 5 or whatever. Because I forgot what month it happened. But yeah, that's how that happened. So that's how we ended up moving to Ponchatoula, all of the good stuff. So that's why I claim both. I went to Ponchatoula schools, all of the good stuff. And yeah, man, grew up, was hanging out with my grandma. That's where I get my accent from. That's where I get my country nature from. That's where I get my language from, all the other stuff. My grandma, the old people, all the other good stuff. So yeah. Say that one more time.
I said you could definitely hear it. That accent is definitely heavy. You could definitely hear it. You could definitely hear it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't take it for granted. I love it. I claim my Greensburg people, but I also claim Ponchatoula because Ponchatoula my alma mater, man. I couldn't stay in St. Helena. We had to move to Tangible Hole. So yeah, that's how it is.
They kind of like discrepancy between Greensburg and Ponchatoula because I don't know too much about it. I ain't never really endeavored that far. No, wait. I mean, I've been a boat, but I don't really know the history of boat. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. So you know how like you got like Baton Rouge and New Orleans and stuff like that. So like, is it like anything like that? Or like, is it pretty much just kind of like neutral for the most part?
It's really like a neutral thing. The only people that would really have beef would be basically like Ponchatoula and Hammond. And so like, it's not, Ponchatoula and Hammond, because they like right there, like we have rivalry schools. That's the biggest game that you'll go to is the Ponchatoula versus Hammond game. That's the only rivalry school that you'll ever go to is Ponchatoula and Hammond. Like St. Helena would be like Greensburg School, like St. Helena and A-Meet would be rivalry schools. So it's like kind of like whoever's like kind of by you, whatever. But like Ponchatoula and Greensburg, they're like two opposite spectrums. Like you like Ponchatoula is city, but it's country as well. And Greensburg is just straight up sticks. Like it's like you can get lost in Greensburg. If you walking down the aisle, like down the highway and stuff like this, you better have some type of reflectors on, because maybe somebody gonna hit you. I'm telling you, that's how country that is. But yeah, in Ponchatoula though, we stayed kind of by the hood. So it was like the hood was right next to us. We just was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like the hood was next to us, and we was staying in the hood, low key. But everybody knew not to mess with my mama kids. Like Yolanda was crazy, so it was like, don't ask. And then too, if something going on with her kids, make sure that she the first one to know. So yeah, it was like we was in a pot of gumbo, honestly, in the middle of everything, honestly.
I'm so glad you said that because, like, excuse me, I'm glad that you said that about the area that you was in. People in the area knew not to mess with your mama kids, and they knew if anything was to happen to alert her first. So with that being said, and for the people that's listening, like, how do you feel about that within the day's time? Because that's one thing that we really don't see that much of. You know what I'm saying? It's just like raising kids nowadays seem like it's more governed and strict, and like it's so hard to raise your child because there's a real thin line between grooming your child, training your child. disciplining your child, abusing your child. It's like there's very thin lines between both of those things. It's just like within the way that this world is going, like everything is like either self-taught or technology taught. But back then, growing up in our era, like in the 90s era and stuff like that, like before we even had the computers and stuff like that, mom teaching us like, hey, I gotta go to work, get inside, like, no, don't you answer that door unless it's me, but now it's like you can't even do that. So the fact that you was in that area and you was able to experience that, like, do you feel like that's something that you would teach like your kids?
Hell yeah. 'Cause number one, and I will say what I say all the time, by the way. Cause yeah. But anyway, number one, hell yeah. Cause like when it gets to my house and stuff like that, the police ain't got no say so of what's going on in my house. That's one. Number two, especially if they not putting no bills and nothing up in there, they not feeding you, they not clothing you, they not taking you to the store, they not making sure you get back and forth to school, they not checking your homework, they not making sure you get in the bath, because if you don't take no bath, you get nasty. But they're not doing all of that. So, we need to, I'm doing the work at the house. So for you to tell me, it's a difference between, and I wish my mama would have understood in older generations would have understood this. It's a difference between disciplining and beating. I'm not gonna beat my kids. I'm gonna discipline them. And what's the difference is beating is I'm basically chastising you in anger because I'm pissed off. I'm trying to release my anger on you for what you didn't already did. Disciplining is, hey, I didn't calm down. I know what's going on, but your actions have repercussions. So I'm gonna make sure I discipline you for what you didn't already just did, and I'm gonna make sure that you understand, hey, this is not okay. This is not what we stand for. This is not what we do. So I'm gonna discipline you in order for me to teach you a lesson, rather than beating the piss out of you and you're not getting that lesson at all. Because my main thing when it comes to all of that is either I'm gonna beat the hell out of you in my house, or I'm gonna let the police beat the hell out of you and they're gonna kill you. So
right.
I mean, you got to look at it that way. So when it comes to the government coming into your household and stuff like that, baby, and if the government listening, y'all need to mind y'all damn business. What's going on in the house? If they up there sitting there, if they beating their kids and stuff like that, and they come up in there with black eyes, all this stuff, that's whenever you investigate it. But if they up there literally going to the schoolhouse, cussing the teacher out, flipping them out, hitting them, spitting, doing all of this stuff, baby, them kids need their ass whooped. And that's why some of these people, they're going to the school, sniping, shooting folk, and being crazy and talking about they crazy and they mental. And no, you just need your ass whooped. You ain't mental. You just need your ass whooped.
I'm glad you said that because Eddie Griffin was like he said it in the special. I can't. Is it freedom of speech? Is he the freedom? But it's one of his specials, and he was like, "Look at where I'm at." He said, "Why do you think I'm right here and not in jail, not in dead? Because my mama beat the shit out of me." He was like, "Asking about who's not in jail." Nah, hey, mama beat the shit out of them. He was like, when your mama told you, come inside before them streetlights come on. Hey, bro, come on with us. Well, you see, boy, the light just came on. I got to go, boy. I don't care. I'll fight both of y'all for take one ass with me for her. See ya. And it just like, it reminded me because like being brought up in that time, and it just like the stuff that's going on with kids nowadays, and it's just like within the generation, it's just like, bruh, you have 3 and 4-year-old who can rap lyrics word for word, but yet can count to the number 5.
And can't spell. Slower than radio. That's crazy.
And it's crazy because like this is one conversation that I feel like for some strange reason our community is so scared to have for some strange reason. Like instead of uplifting each other, mostly we downgrade and belittle each other and blame each other for doing it. Like that's one thing I never understood. Like you'll legit see somebody of your same color trying to, do better than what they did. Oh, you ain't gonna never go nowhere. I don't know what you're trying for. Like what you like, bro, like damn, like what I do you? You don't even know me. You feel me? But it's just like when another person outside the race do it, oh, it's racist. Or it's like, nah, it's the same. Like
yeah, I got bullied at the house. So not that I got bullied at the house, honestly. I was bullied at the house. So now now when somebody come to me with something that I don't even deal with, my comeback is like so strong and so strict, and I bet I don't know any firm details about you because it's gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I was bullied at the house, so I already knew by the time it kind of grew me when I got to the schoolhouse. So when I got to the schoolhouse, the only people at the schoolhouse had to deal with was my mouth and my hands. That was it, because it was only two things I was gonna really deal with, man, and I wasn't gonna disrespect anything now. But now it's like if people. Like some people, like they trigger word now is like the B word and stuff like that. Somebody called them a bitch, especially for a guy. Like that's like the whole big old thing. Like if they call or if you call me a bitch, then it's gonna be over. I mean, if you wasn't no bitch or if you're not no bitch, why you get pissed off when somebody say bitch? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't sit there and like entertain it. Now me, instead of you saying, hey, you a bitch, man, all this other stuff, man, you act like a whole bitch and all. I'm saying, okay, and you was raised by one. So what that mean? It took a bitch to know a bitch. So guess what? And you was raised by a real bitch. So I mean, hey, that's my comeback. And then that's gonna hurt you way more. That's gonna sting way more than for you just to call me, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? So I think that in that whole context, man, like I don't know. I wrote a paper on it. Like it's crazy, and it's for college students. It's like I have to sit there and get support from people outside of my race, outside of my town, outside of my family members. That's basically pushing me. Like they're there for the graduation. Like, yay, let's go. You did it. You killed it. You have to make these grades and all that other stuff. But when it's time for me to go ahead and do my paperwork and all that other stuff, it's saying search me, please. And y'all not trying to take me out to lunch, so I won't have to pay for no lunch at all. Because being in college is very like hard and you broke, honestly.
Right.
And so they not trying to put no groceries. They're not saying, hey, let me put $50 on your light bill and stuff like this, so you won't have to work so hard this week. Like take a break from work this week or whatever. Let's go. I got you this month or something like that. They don't do that. Or they don't be like, hey, like you ain't even gotta work, man. If you want to come stay here, whatever, let's do it. I'm not saying that I gotta be your charity case, but if you're gonna say that you support me and something like that, allow me to be valedictorian and be able to give you your flowers when it's time. So by the time I get that good paying job, not only will I be taking care of you, I'm gonna be taking care of your household, so you won't have to go back to work. But Black people don't understand it that way. And I don't know why. And you wonder, and it's not spoiling. It's actually grooming the person because you see something in them that they don't see in themselves. I was told so much stuff by people that I don't even know off the flat of the earth. Like, man, you are awesome. Like, your energy is good, all this other stuff. I've never once heard that from my family members at all. And so I'm like, when I hear it, it's foreign to me. So I don't know how to receive it. So now when I go to like the everyday work period, it's like, I got to prove myself. And it's like, you already got it. Why are you proving yourself? Because I'm out there trying to prove myself to the people that don't even believe in me in my own house, in my own family, that's in my own corner, all this other stuff. So, I mean, I don't know why it is for Black people. We need to do better, honestly, as a Black generation. Start uplifting. Everything that you do is not weak. Everything that you do is not a whole problem, all that other stuff. We try to make everything that's going on a problem. Like, that's them young kids, man. They just don't have nothing. That generational shit gets on my nerves. Like, well, y'all generation just don't know better. If they want to do this, I'm like, no, I don't have time for all of this. Listen, I was born in the generation. I'm just not a part of the generation, if that makes sense. So I'm like, I can't stand it. When you talk about my generation, it's disrespectful to me because I'm in that generation. We're not all like that. I hang out with people that are like-minded like myself. And for you to basically sit there and say that means that you're only searching for the negative that's going on in the generation instead of the positive that's going on in the generation. We're the generation that's gonna have to take care of your old ass when you get older. You might want to sit still and be done, and give us breaks, because just like you was up there bumping your head and being crazy and up there doing all this extra stuff when you was growing up, we got to do the same thing too. I don't know why people thinking that we need to be growing up, come out of high school, get into college, and we up there 40-year-old, 50-year-olds and all that stuff. We not like that. Let us enjoy our 20s. Just because you was pregnant and you didn't, you have to give your 20s away because you have to take care of your kid. That's between you.
Right.
So
I'm glad you said that. Now you said a couple of things that I want to touch up on you with. First thing is about being bullied at the house because I can relate to you with that, and I want to see if we have the same definition or like the same. I want to see we have like how our outcomes or how our views on that is. Second thing is with the generation comment that you made. So I want you to remember these so that way this is the order that is going in. The first question is no. So we're gonna talk about the bullying at the house. Then after that, for being part of the generation. I want you to let the people know how old you are. So when we talk about the generation thing, by you saying that, like, and it's crazy because I want to point this fact out, but I want to point something out and I want your opinion on this. You said, when people said, y'all generation this, y'all generation that, you was like, you hated to a T because even though you was born in a generation, you're not a part of it, right? So with that being said, and everybody that's listening, I really want y'all not to hear this, but to really listen to what I'm about to ask, right? So listen to what he just said. He said that, he's a part of the generation. He was born in the generation, but he's not a part, how they try to classify the whole generation as a fuck up. So with that being said, why do we do the same thing ignorantly? Now, what I mean by that is, when it comes to women, when it comes to men, and I'm talking about Black community mostly, but when it comes to our people, notice we do that same exact thing. Oh, you talking about guys ain't shit. I'm not like them guys. You talking about all women are hoes. I'm not like them women. Yet we all categorize each other, but all say we're not a part of the category that we're describing. So with that being said, like, where do the self-accountability come into where y'all really put yourself in check and be like, am I fucked up? Like, am I really a part of the problem? Like, can you really sit there and be like, okay, so for instance, so I can give you an example, right? A man who has a child, especially a daughter, like these ones that kind of mess with me the most. If you're a father and you have a daughter, you don't do nothing for your daughter. You figure, as long as you send money or buy whatever, they're doing something for. Hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. This is not for us to judge, right? But if somebody was like, oh, you a deadbeat, I'm not no deadbeat, I'm not like them niggas. Then what are you?
Exactly.
Like, so it's like, with that question being said, I don't want to hear y'all opinions about that. So when we categorize or when we put things in the categories, but we take ourselves out of what we categorizing, how are you certain that you should be out of that category yourself? Because I'm not.
For me, I'm about to say, to answer that question for me, I say the proof is in the pudding. Whenever you look at my life and then when you look at somebody that's the same age as me, that's like on a total different spectrum. It's like, how are you growing up? How are you grown whenever you was growing up? Or whatever in the household. And it's like, okay, it's like, okay, well, I can't categorize myself because I didn't grow up that way. I didn't do, I wasn't raised up in that. So it's like, that can't be me. Like a deadbeat daddy, I ain't got kids. My kids still swimming, so I can't categorize myself in there. All guys are deadbeat, stuff like that. I can't categorize with them. I ain't got kids. I ain't got none of this stuff. So it's like, for me, it's like the proof is in the pudding. Your actions speak way louder than your words for me. So it's like, for me, the way that I can take myself out of that category, it's like, hey, I'm a part. That's why I say I'm a part of this generation. I'm of the generation. I'm just not a part of it. It's because literally, I just don't. When it comes to me and my area and all the people I hang out with, people that's my age, I don't too much get along with them people because it's like they don't have the same mindset. They don't have the same goal. They don't have the same ambitions. They don't have all this other stuff. It's like, okay, cool, got you. Hang out with you. Got to hang out with older people because they like heavily elevated. They can give me wisdom and all the other stuff. But do I still talk to those people? Of course, I'm still talk to you. I'm still gonna come by you. I'm still gonna say, hey, how you doing? All the other stuff. What's going on? Do you need help? So I can build you up. All this other stuff. I'm gonna still be there. I'm gonna still be your lifeline. But as in me trying to basically, in other words, like deal with you all because we're like in the same, I say like category or area or whatever. I don't have to do that at all. Number one, we all don't have to do that, to be honest with you. That's why God created free will. So it's like, hey, you know, that's why that's my personal opinion on that matter. It's like I can't categorize myself in it because it's not me. When you look at whenever you look at me and when you look at them, it's like we're total opposites. That's why I said when people introduce me or I introduce them, they think I'm not even my age. They think I'm not 21. They think I'm 35, 40.
Yeah,
all this other stuff.
When you told me, you had me shocked. I'm like, ain't no mother way, like ain't no way. But you know what? I'm glad you did tell me because by you telling me that first, and then hearing what you just said just now, like it's almost like being two peas in a pod. What I mean by that is because growing up, I've only hung out with older people. I've only dealt with older people when it comes to dating, when it comes to anything that I ever done with my life has always been with older people. And not saying, no discredit to young people, people of my generation or my age. It's just, like you said before, when it came to dating, especially for me, I never messed with a female that was my age because I'm like, the way my mental was set up and the way y'all mental was set up, it's on two different planes. And they say that women mature faster than men. I'm not saying that ain't accurate, but around my time, around the women I was dealing with, like, I'm not gonna say they wasn't mature, but the direction I was heading wasn't the same thing that they was focusing on. You see what I'm saying? One thing that messed me, I ain't gonna say it messed me up, but one thing that I'm realizing today that I didn't understand back then is the fact of me thinking I was grown. So being in school, like I'm gonna tell you, being in school, right? I didn't start getting woman attraction until my 8th grade year. Like, I've always been a big guy. I always had the weight. I was never ugly, but you couldn't tell me no different. I was just like, it was just that weight for me. But once I started getting female attention, like I said, once again, it was always older women. But see, what I'm trying to understand at this point is, was it because every woman I had a crush on was an older woman, especially a teacher? Like I noticed this recently. Every woman, like when I was younger, every woman I crushed on was a teacher. She was older, she was a teacher, and they was pretty. Like it was pretty as teachers. Like I had crushes on teachers. So with me thinking today, I'm like, I wonder if that's what I'm searching for. Like if my partner or my woman has to be someone who is an educator, but also is pretty, but also has the mental capacity to where, you know what I'm saying? Like you can educate me, but educate me into a way to where I can understand it. And like I said, for my age or whether you're older, it don't really matter. But it's just like me understanding that now, and especially what the place I'm in now. So with the generation thing, because like I said, I was 19. The woman I was seeing was in her 40s. Like I was, so it was just like, once I got my first taste of like what it was to really be with a cougar, sugar mom, whatever you want to call them, like to deal with a woman that was like double my age, like I had no problem with it. Like I was having, like it's crazy when you're a young male or a young teen having an adult conversation with people who are 30 and 40 years old. And you're able to hold their intellect and you're able to hold conversation with them and they're looking at you like, wait a minute, like you're so young, but how you like, so saying that I relate to you because I was the same age. So you saying that, I'm just like, bro, like that's crazy because it's just like you always get that rare bunch of people who's like they young, but it's just like it's something about them. It's something like you got an old soul about you, like I don't know what it is. It's just like this, because it's like, okay, with the music that's coming out today, right? Let's talk about it. With the music that's coming out today, like, we don't have no Aretha's. We don't have no Betty Wrights. We don't have no OJs. We don't have the kind of them kind of people making music. So within the new generations to come, when the music that we consider to be oldies but goodies become ancient or records to the new generation, what are you going to use, or what are you going to be able to use as an example of good music? Because
I mean,
now,
for me, I must say, for me, like growing up in the 2000s, I don't know. For me, growing up in the 2000s, our music was killing. Like you couldn't tell us nothing. So for me, good music. Now, the reason why I also have an so I have to give this honor to my dad. My dad passed away when I was in 2012, and I was 11 years old. So like I have to give this honor to my daddy. My daddy, every time my daddy loved music, he loved blues, and that dude crazy. So the thing is, like, I kind of cater my old soul and my old music and stuff like that, because I be listening to what is that song? I think it's one of my favorite songs that his was Fire. I forget who was by though. And like I was listening to it, and it's like, "She got your fire." Like I was listening to it, I was like, "Go ahead." I'm up there I'm visualizing the song. I'm gonna have to look up who it's by. I'm gonna have to send it to you too.
wait,
But when I
hold
tell
on.
you it's an old song.
I don't want to cut you off before you say the next thing that you're about to say. Because if you say what I think you're about to say, I want to make sure I cut you off because I don't want to make it seem like I'm copying you. Are you getting ready to say, because it's funny if you agree with me, are you getting ready to say that anytime you listen to a song, and I'm not talking about when you hear the song, but when you really listen to the song, you close your eyes and you picture everything that the song is saying word for word, and you come up with a vivid imagery of the song in your head?
I did used to do that, but it used to be, I'm telling you, I did used to do that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did used to do that. And the crazy thing is, with that song that I just mentioned, every time I hear that song, it's just a memory of like my daddy dancing. And so every time I hear that song, I get emotional, but at the same time too, I love it too, because it's like it's an upbeat song. So you don't have no other choice but to like get out there and be dancing the whole time. And people be like, what you know about that? I'm like, bro, I grew up on this. What are you talking about?
It's a bittersweet song for you.
Correct. So for me, when I hear blues and stuff like that, that was his genre. He listened to our stuff. Like I'm grateful for the parents that I had. Like my daddy was like a blues person. My mama is a blues person. Like she loves cruising. That's her favorite song ever in life. Her favorite song is Cruising. And so I like that song too, but like she was catered towards us. Like to our generation in the 2000s and all that other stuff. And she introduced us to John Legend, all the other stuff too, and plus gospel, all of that. So I get my gospel and my John Legends and Aretha Franklin's and all that other stuff from her. I get James Brown, Prince, Michael Jackson, all the like the line dancing, all that other stuff from my daddy, because my daddy liked to dance. And so now, me being me, it's like as soon as I hear either one, I can step in any room. I can step in any room. You got the music on or something like that, or your good love. These days and uncle. So me, I'm like, okay, look, I'm gonna be right there. You know what I'm saying? So for me, being catered to both, I grew up with it. So when older people be like, "What you know about this?" Like, you too young to be know. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you must be too old for me to know about it. Like, come on now, I grew up on this stuff.
Now, see, I love that you say that, because that is one thing that we do here a lot. Anytime you see a younger person listening to music of another era, especially an era before them, people out of era look at that child and be like, "What the hell? Like, what you know about that? Like, man, you don't know who my parents was. Like, you don't know what I grew up around. Like, this is second nature to me. Like, this ain't nothing." Sunday morning, mom turning on the old school soul jam, because you know what time it was as soon as you heard it. You heard the gospel. It's time to get up. Time to clean up the house.
Yeah.
Once that's going, she got Sunday dinner getting ready, cooked up. So by the time everything is done, you need it, take your bath. Now it's time for school for the next day. It's time to start the week over. So it's just like, cause see me, like I said, I'm a real, like, I love music, but then I'm understanding, like, I love the melody more, and that makes sense. So even though certain songs you do listen for the word, I like to hear the harmony of the song. So it's just like, I can listen to a song with no words, as long as the beat is right. Like the harmony and the beat of the song is in sync. I don't need no words. I just listen to that, like because what I've discovered about myself recently is the fact that I notice certain instruments and certain sounds calm me. And I learned that through meditation. Like I learned certain sounds, no, like if I may be irate or if I may be going through something, like if I play a song, the words will bypass me, but the beat or the melody of the song would amplify, and I just be like I don't know, it's almost like it winds me down. I don't know, it's weird. Like I don't know if anybody ever experienced that.
I know what you mean by that, because for me, except it's the opposite for me. It's the same thing, music, but it's the opposite for me. When I listen to music, not only am I listening to because I can sing. I didn't sing. I wasn't really singing. I was just like whatever. I was just like doing something small. But anyway, I can sing. And my mama in my family background is singing and all this stuff. So me, I'm musically inclined. So when I listen to a song or whatever, I'm listening to not only the harmonies, the melodies, all this other stuff. I'm listening to the song, the words of the song, what's the whole story behind it, all that stuff. So now when I listen to old stuff like Energy by Kerry Hilson, and I'm like, shut up, this song, I'll be like, shut up, this song, my damn beat by Phyllis. It's like, I'm having nightmares, I'm sleeping with the enemy. How did we get close for this chemistry or something like that? I don't want us to be the enemy. This love is taking all of my energy. I'm like, shut up, it is. And I be listening to the song, and I literally will picturing stuff in my head, because I'm like, for me, I like to see stuff in my head too, so it can make sense. So I'll be sitting like, I will make up two people in my head having a whole argument while I'm listening to it, and all of a sudden I'm like, man, this is so deep. and it's the beat that come behind it, and I'm like, okay, like, this song go hard. Like, okay. But it depends on what type of song it is. If it's like a slow song like that, where it's like basically a story, then I listen to it. But if it's something like dancing, like I was just talking about earlier, or like wobble or something like that, child, I'm not listening to no music for no story, something like that. I'm trying to figure out what's some dance moves or whatever. And I'm up there going back and forth. Listen. So for me, I'm very musically inclined when it comes to that. I listen to everything. Not rock and roll. I don't do all that metal stuff now. Huh?
The fact that you could sing, I didn't know you could sing.
Yeah, that's why my voice so high and pitched and all that other stuff, child. A lot of people be thinking, they were like, why your voice so high and stuff like that? That's the reason why. Yeah. A lot of people, I'm surprised, because this old lady, she stopped me. She said, you have a soft voice, man. Like, can you sing? And I said, no, ma'am, I can't. She said, you lying. And if you tell somebody else that, I'm going to slap you. And I said, oh, well, yes, ma'am, I can. She said, yeah, I can tell you can sing, because you sound like you can sing. And I'm like, oh, my bad. Yeah. But yeah, wow. I can sing. I got that from my mama's side of the family. My daddy, child, couldn't carry a tune if he put in the bucket. He really couldn't.
We gonna have to do some music work together. I'm very intrigued to see what you can do.
I'm not, listen, hold on. Let me cut you off. I'm not Chris Brown, Trey Songz, none of them other people. I don't do all them runs. I don't do none of this stuff. Because, baby, if you up there trying to get a run out of me, baby, you're going to have to run. Jesus walked the water, he didn't run. So that's what I'm not about to be doing. I'm not running nowhere. I'm walking. So I'm a background person. I'm not no, listen, you tell me, hey, I need you to sing it at such and such, and I want you to be a background person. Oh, I got you. Your tenor part and your alto part, I got you. You're going to get good harmony. You're going to get all of this stuff. But me being in the forefront, I ain't happening, player. I ain't happening. Now I can harmonize. I can do all the other stuff. I know when parts. I know when parts
get you to the forefront.
All of it. Huh?
We can get you to the forefront.
Oh no, you can't, man. My name not Prince. My name not Michael Jackson. My name not none of them other folks. Hey man, my name is Brady. Hey man, none of them. I don't toot my horn. I don't toot my horn like that. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Like
can we get you on the hook then?
On the hook, of course.
All right, we're gonna.
It's gonna be small. Listen, it's gonna be something small though. I'm gonna say, all right, what's the hook? How it's supposed to sound? That's how it's supposed to like that. Bring it down for a second, right quick, and let's see if I like my voice like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I told you, to be honest with you about my singing voice, I do not like my singing voice at all. My mama loves it. I don't know why, and my grandma loves it. I don't know. I'm like, ugh. And at one point in time, I hated to sing.
Like we like when we do our part two, I want to get into that because like I'm really like why do y'all feel like that, especially like singers of because see me, I'm not no singer. I'm not put myself in that category. I'm not no singer. But one thing that I know is I don't like my voice. Like if I'm talking off camera, I have no problem with it. But it's like I don't like the way my voice sounds when I hear myself off on the recording. I'm like, ugh.
Me
like,
either.
Talk to people over the phone. I'm like, nah, I'd rather talk to you in person. I don't like the way I sound.
Exactly. That's me for real. And then too, when you add like a country accent to that, and then it's like it like the phones do not do anything better. Cause like for me on the phone, it look like it sounds like I'm screaming, but I'm not. And I'm like, bro, like, why did you have to sound? It be like, so do I gotta do this? Or I'm like, man, I hate that. But everybody be like me. So I'm like, okay, I guess I got a good voice. Who knows? I don't know. I'm like, man, I hate it. I totally hate it. If somebody record me and I'm up to singing or something like that, delete that, please. Like, I do not like it at all. I can't do it, man. And a lot of people, they like it. I say, hey, y'all like it. I don't though. That's not me.
So by saying that, the fact that you wearing it, I'm gonna go ahead and next. Tell us about the hashtag I'm different. So like before you get into like the way that you have it on right now, I want to make sure that's how it come, or is it because the way that the camera is like backwards?
It's backwards the way it comes. Yeah, because I think by the time you're looking at me, the way you're looking at me is like backwards, like how it is, But it is I'm different. With the F's are backwards and the E and all that stuff. That is backwards and all that stuff. But yeah, so about my brand and stuff like that too. That's how it is. That's how it's spelled. Hashtag I'm different. Because I want to make sure that a lot of people was asking me about that too. Why did you do the hashtag? For me, whenever you make a whole statement and then you add a hashtag to it, the hashtag basically solidifies basically your statement. So you can say like I'm of this generation, but I'm not a part of it. Hashtag I'm different. You get how they do that? Like I love singing, but I don't like my voice. Hashtag I'm different.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying? Like I go to school and I go to work, whatever, but I stay with my parents or whatever, hashtag I'm different. You know what I'm saying? So that hashtag I'm different makes it that's for you. That's your personal. That's like a personal thing that you got going on for yourself. So for me, and it's so the whole general thing is hashtag I'm different is all about basically it's an apparel company that's inspiring you to be your true authentic self through apparel. And our main goal is for you to be a living blueprint to society that's encouraging you to be where your creator created you to be, despite society's expectations. You can't be different if you choose to stay the same. So I chose that because growing up, man, like I said earlier, I was bullied, man, growing up. Like everybody, all guys and stuff that I hung out with, they were into sports and all that other stuff. Me, I was into music, choir, all the other stuff, man. I was not even intrigued in sports, all that other stuff. Now, when it came to my daddy kind of bridged that gap for me because my daddy was a sports fanatic. But when he passed away, that kind of went away. So I was like, yeah, I'm good on sports and all that other stuff too. I would sit there and watch it, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not there. Yeah, it's not for me. So like whenever he passed away and stuff like that too, I could always sing, I could always do all that stuff. So it's like, hey man, I don't have to literally be a typical guy in order for me to love singing and love like going out and like getting your feet done and all that stuff too. I used to be like the type of person where it's like, man, I don't feel like gonna go get my feet done and stuff like that. Now you cannot pay me to put no polish on my feet or my hands like that. You can't pay me to do that, and you cannot pay me to touch my hands and do all this stuff too, because I don't like people touching me. But I ain't got other feet, so I'm like, man, you might as well do that too. And then my mom was like, well, your wife might like your feet like nice and stuff like that too. You got some nice feet or whatever, so you might want to do that. So I said, okay, cool. So if she like it, if the ladies like it, cool. Same thing with my hair getting braided. Lady came up in Walmart and told me, hey, I like your hair like that. You should start wearing like that. Guess what I always do? Still have it braided. Listen, I listen to people. Hashtag I'm different. Like I listen to people.
Hey, but go and give us a view of the hair. Let us see how the hell look.
You see it, man.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, they did some wonderful work. But see, I'm not gonna lie. When I found out how much people charge to do braids,
It's all about you get what you pay for. I'm not about to sit there. I do not pay over $75 for somebody to do my braids and stuff like that. I'm not gonna pay over $75.
That's reasonable. I'm hearing people paying $200, $160, $400, $800. I'm like, for some braids? For some braids.
But you think about that. You said that about braids, but you'll pay $400, $300, $200 and some dollars for a pair of Jordans, but you're gonna take care of your hair and stuff like that. That's what we I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because my hygiene is like top tier, and then too the way I present myself outward and all of this stuff, that's very top tier for me. I'm not about to sit there and be looking at the hot ass mess. All because of the price. No, you're gonna get what you pay for. If I want them Jordans or that PS5 or something like that PS5 is like $800 and something dollars. But my rent is $700. So you think I'm about to skip? You think I'm about to skip rent to pay for a PS5 or something like that? No, you get what you pay for, and you gonna get what you want. So I mean, hey. So for me, that's why I said, man, I'm not paying that price. You know, for the people that quoted me a price whenever they looked at my hair and stuff like that, they said, "Oh, you got some nice hair, all this stuff." And people that do that, you charging that amount of money for what you're doing, and you're not even washing my hair, baby, you can go to hell. I'm not paying it. I'm not paying it. I'm gonna let you know I'm not paying it. So yeah, I just need to get to the point where I can do my own hair, so I won't have to pay nobody to do it. Now that's gonna be a blessing. I ain't gonna even lie on it.
So with that being said, but how you gonna be able to braid? Like, wait, can you twist your hair by yourself?
You can. I can't though. It's possible if I learn how to do it. Yeah, you can. All you need is a good mirror. I just don't know how to part. I can twist hair though. I just don't know how to part.
Then
you get.
So you'll never have to go. Man, who?
I'm telling you. It's like, who did your hair? Oh, me. I'm telling you.
You want your done too? Yeah. In the cutting hair, like the fact that my uncle was a barber, like that would make me want to get in there. And then the barber school that I went to actually had a cosmetology class right down the hall. And then once I learned that cosmetology and barbers are like damn near what and what, I'm just like, I can learn how to do it. Cause like, you gotta think about it. Like most men who do hair don't be straight. So to find a straight man that does hair, you be like.
And they got some out here though. I'm not gonna lie, they got some out there too that's like straight and they do hair. And I'm like, shut up, dude. And I'm telling you, they line be killing it. Like they kill the females when it comes to it. I'm like, dang.
Well, you gotta think about it, right? And I might be wrong. So y'all let me know if I'm wrong or if I'm right or not. What I was getting ready to say? I forgot what I was getting ready to say just that quickly. Damn, what was I getting ready to say, y'all?
Try your guess is as good as mine. But back to the look. I was saying that they be killing it, like the guys be killing it, like for real. And they be over the they be.
That's all I was getting ready to say. So yeah, y'all let me know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, y'all. So I think the reason why that might be, and I may be wrong, but you have to think about it, right? If you're a woman, who would you rather in your head? Another woman or a man? And a straight one at that, especially if you're a heterosexual man, a heterosexual female.
Yeah, I ain't gonna even lie, I roll a man in my head, for real.
So you know a man who know how to lay your hair.
Yep.
Good firm hands. Know what he's doing. Washing your hair, massaging your scalp. And he's straight. Come on now. He probably smashed that.
And that's the reason why some of these guys do it too, because they like, man, I be making a killing. Like they got some dudes that can do a whole good lace front, all that stuff. And will literally be like, man, and they kill it and they do better than the females. And they don't even charge that much. as a female would charge you. They don't even charge you that much.
Oh yeah, I might go to cosmetology school and learn how to start
I'm
getting my
telling you, you'll kill it.
get
You'll
my
kill
list.
it.
And I already got the charisma. I'm polite. I'm a gentleman. Hey, what y'all think? Y'all let me know if I should go ahead and sign up for cosmetology school tonight, since I already did barbering. But it looks like we're coming to a close. We're gonna start wrapping things up. Brady, before we go ahead and get out of here tonight, my man, is there anything you want to tell the folks before we do head out here? Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I definitely loved your energy. Like, this has been one of my funnest interviews. Like, we gonna definitely have to come back for a part 2 and a part 3. But before we do head off, I do want to get your final opinions on anything before we let you get out of here.
Man, only thing I will leave off with everybody saying thank you so much again for this opportunity for me to be on your platform. You definitely did not have to extend yourself and all for me to be on your platform to shine my light to your viewers, to your audience, all the good stuff, man. So I'll say first, make sure the people that are listening, make sure y'all follow me on my social media sites. On my Instagram, my Instagram is at pray._about it. My business Instagram is at I'm Different LLC. Also follow me on TikTok. Why? Because I'm up there going big on there. So follow me on TikTok at I'm._Bray on there. And also, man, if you follow me on Facebook, make sure you spell my name right, because if you don't spell my name right, that ain't me. So follow me on Facebook. That's how you'll be able to get all of my social media sites on my Facebook page, because they'll be listed all the way on my bio, all of this stuff. But in closing for me, man, I will say, man, keep shining, man. Keep doing what you're doing to everybody else, not only for you, but keep shining, man. Never dim your light, because you'll never know if your light is the source that God is using, or whoever your creator is using to bring somebody else out their darkness, man. So you was born on this earth for a purpose, and you were born to be different, man. So keep shining, keep doing what you're doing. Why? Because you're killing it, man. So yeah. In closing, that's me.
I love your energy, and I love the work that you're doing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I also love the impact that you have within your community, and then with you being the age that you are. You know what I mean? Because even though that you're a young male, a young Black male at that, but your head, your head is on so strong. And I commend you not only for where your mindset is at, but the fact that you legit understand, you're not fully there, but like, where you're going. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, you know who you are, you're comfortable with yourself, and can't nobody change that. So with the hashtag I'm different, I'm not gonna lie, I love the way that you came about it, and I love the way your concept behind it. So I'm really, I'm gonna be honest, I'm really proud and happy for you, the way that you even did that and came about it, and the fact that you feel so strongly about the fact that you continuously to do it, but you're not selfish with it. And what I mean by you're not selfish with it is the fact that you're willing to help other people understand, especially within our community and within this world, like how people with the suicides and the mental health is like, everybody do feel alone. So with the hashtag I'm different, it does let people know, even though, like, yeah, I am different. And there's nothing wrong with that, because nobody on this world is alike. So with the hashtag I'm different and the movement that it is, I salute it and I respect it, because it's something that we do need. And what's wrong with being different? What's wrong with being different? So,
and you were created to be that way, man.
Please tell them again. Please tell them.
You were created, man. You were created to be different, man. God did not place you, or whoever you believe in, man. God did not place you on this earth to be the same. We all have different fingerprints. We all have different footprints, man. We all have different shapes, bodies, all the other good stuff, man. If God wanted us to be the same, man, he would have called us to be a utopia. And that's not it. That's not it. God didn't call us to be the same. So that's why in the creation of time, man, free will was the first thing that was on there. So, man, whenever you can embrace your difference and tap into it, you're gonna be able to pave the way for so many people, man. And not only you, but future generations, for them to embrace it. And it's not like a gender thing. It's not a sexuality thing. It's not, any of that type of stuff, man. It's just you embracing you saying, hey, this is me. This is what I do. I don't have to be like y'all. Because again, like I said earlier, man, I was bullied for being like way different from everybody else, man. But I took what I've been through, the pain that I had to go through, because I want to commit suicide for it too. Because I was like, man, God, I can't do this. You know, it's not working for me like this. That's gonna be in part 2.
Right.
But that's, it's not working for me like this. You know, like God, why'd you do this? So I'm up there having a back and forth with God. Like, and he was like, dude, I called you to be there. Walk in it. So yeah, that's all I say, man. I challenge you to walk in it. And you gonna soon as you tap into me, I'll say another way that you can say hashtag I'm different is hashtag I'm living in my purpose. I'm living in what I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. I'm creating space. I'm making sure that I can basically pave the way for other people. Don't be selfish with the gift that God gave you. Make sure that you can be able to spread that and also teach somebody else so they can build them so you can build them up as you go along as well. Because by the time nothing kills me, I appreciate the people that basically made the time out for me way more than I'm older now than I did growing up. You know, I appreciate them way more than I did. So make time, man. Make time for the people that mean a lot to you. And also embrace your difference, man, because it's up there paving the way for other people, man. You do not have to be stuck in the situation you at all. You can be like, hey, I ain't about to deal with this, man. Shoot. Somebody try to tell you something like, child, I'm different. I ain't got to deal with all that, man. I'm different. I ain't got to do all of that, man. I can do whatever I'm supposed to be doing. I ain't got to do what everybody else do. So that's my main thing, man. Inspiring people to be like, do what they want to do, honestly, themselves, and not have to be judged for it because they made their own decision. Everybody has their own walk of life, man. We do not have the same walk of life. Walk down your road, man. You won't have obstacles. We all got to go through it.
Ooh,
Do what you got to do. Live
was,
your life.
That is beautiful. Like I like those were some beautiful words. And like y'all know how we end every single show. Peace, love, and blessings. Again, Braden, we humbly, thank you for coming on the show today. And like I said, we'll definitely have to get back for a part 2. Everybody, make sure you do go follow him on his Instagram and his Facebook. I will have his links down below. And like I said, until we see each other again, y'all, it's been real.